Good morning, guys. Welcome to reading class, reading review. Tall Tales. Let's talk about Tall Tales. Tall Tales. Don't forget that Tall Tales is a fictional story that stretches the truth. Okay, it could stretches, estirar, encoger. That's what it means. So the heroes or heroes of Tall Tales are larger than life. Look at this picture. This one is a giant boy. Sometimes the heroes or heroes in a tall tale are completely made up, completely invented. Sometimes they are based on actual person who really lived, Through the telling of the story, these characters are given exaggerated characteristics. They are bigger or stronger than real people and solve problems in a way that is hard to believe. So this is pretty important information. A tall tale is a story that is very difficult to believe, a greatly exaggerated story. Characteristics of a tall tale: one, humor, okay, has humor. Two, present impossible situations. Three, characters with characters with
Miss, I had bad
superhuman.
internet.
But can you listen to me?
Yes, I can listen, but can I have my camera off?
Yeah. Okay. So a tall tale have characters with superhuman abilities. What did you do, Maria Fernanda? You don't have to be writing anything. So no tiene que estar con la cabeza agachada, María Fernanda. And the last one is that has many exaggerations. Tall Tales is an exaggerated and humorous story that teaches a moral or lesson in which the main characters are superhuman or larger than life. The character could have been made up or a real person. For example, Paul Bunyan. These one are the 4 stories you read in different, I divide them you in different groups. Pecosville, it's a story about a little boy, a baby, that live in a farm. And suddenly they have a neighbor, but not close to them. It was a neighbor that was close to the house, but not next to them. But they didn't like that and decided to move. They decided to move because they have a new neighbor. When they were crossing the Pecos River, the wagon they were traveling in jumped and the baby fall off from the wagon. At that moment, the baby learned to swim, get out of the water, and then found Coyote's family. So he was raised, he grew up believing or behaving like a coyote, because that's the only thing he watched every day. He listened, so he hold like a coyote, aullaba como coyote. And one day, his older brother found him, and he realized it was Pecosville. That's why he received his name, because of the Pecos River. And one exaggerated thing he did was during a drought, durante una sequía. The place where they live, the family, have a great, was suffering or passing for a great drought. So he went to, I don't remember to when, to California, maybe San Francisco, I don't remember.
Miss,
But he
I think I remember the Pecosville go to Texas.
Out to Texas, maybe, yeah, Texas. And he lasso, because he has a lasso, see, is the way a cowboys catch or trap cows, horses, and bulls. Lasso. He lasso a tornado. And bring it to the place where he lived. And with that tornado, he brought the clouds and rain. And that's how that drought ended. Now, Paul Bunyan, the tall tale about Paul Bunyan. What about this one? It's another one that grew as a giant. And he worked with this axe. He cut a lot of, he can cut a great amount of trees in a swing, de un solo corte, with that axe. And also the story mentioned that one day he was very tired after he cut many trees, thousands of them. And he was dragging his axe, venía arrastrando el axe. And that's how he created the Grand Canyon. That's what the one exaggerations the story mentioned, that he created the Grand Canyon because he was dragging his axe. Johnny Cobb also was a boy that grew and grew, becomes an adult, a giant. And he used to help people. He used to help people with the powers, with the force he has. And John Appleseed, he loved apples. That's what the only things I remember one of you said during the exposition, that
And
he
Johnny
likes to eat apples.
Appleseed, and Johnny Appleseed, the real name was John Champan.
Yeah, John Champan. Yes, that's true. And he wants everyone. He wants apple trees all over the world. So he gave seeds. He planted apple trees. Yeah.
When I read that story, I know that Johnny Appleseed wants to people don't pasar hambre.
No hunger. So that's why he wanted to plant apple trees everywhere, because few people don't like apples. What about Popeye? Greatest tall tales of heroic adventures. He was a normal guy. But when the girl he likes him getting problems, Olive, in order to get strong, he ate spinach. So after he ate spinach, he became a strong man. So that's a tall tale also. I was born about 10,000 years ago. We cannot last for all of these years. No podemos durar tanto. 10 years ago, that's not possible. Since that, just by the title, that's a tall tale, because it's not true, it's exaggerated. Now, let's remember John Henry. We read this story, John Henry. John Henry is a tall tale too. The characteristics says the story is told in a plain way of speaking. Exaggerated events, well, that's why I'm going to tell you about him, about John Henry. There are widely exaggerated or impossible events, like the baby John Henry jumps out of his mother's arm and starts grow. So when the first day, the day he was born, he becomes a giant. He becomes a giant because he was taller than regular people. He was taller than regular people. Another exaggerated event. Johnny Henry chops down an acre of trees in one afternoon, and he pulverizes a boulder with his hammers. Remember the boulder that was some workers were fighting with, because they were trying to break that up, but they couldn't. They also put dynamite to the boulder, and it didn't work. And Johnny Henry break it apart just by using the hammers his father gave to him. Now look at this. Instruction says select 4 characteristics of a tall tale. Normal people doing normal things. Characters with no skills and little strength. Characters with superhuman abilities.
Miss, I know.
Give me one. Okay,
Miss, that's exaggerations.
Exaggerations is another characteristic. Humor, and also impossible situations, impossible situations. So these one are 4 characteristics of a tall tale. Characters with superhumans and abilities, exaggerations, humor, and impossible situations. Now, look at this one. I have 5 examples here. 5, but only 3 of them are examples of a tall tale or exaggerations. Let's read them. A girl raised by a lion as her father. A boy writing and reading a book. A giant lumberjack fighting with other giants. When John Cole was a baby, he drank 10 gallons of milk and ate 1 million.
I think it is a girl.
I think it's a 1 and the 3 and the 4.
The 1, the 2, and the 3.
The 1, the 2, and the 3.
Okay.
2, and the 4.
The 1. Yeah, that's an example.
The 3.
The 3.
The 3. A lumberjack fighting with other giants. Yes. So we miss one more.
The 4.
The 4.
The 4.
Yeah. Who can?
And it's not
No matter how hungry you are, we cannot eat 1 million of hamburgers.
Oh shit, we know it's a million hamburgers. It's a lot of hamburgers.
Yeah. Or unless the hamburger, it is pretty tiny. Yes, Alan?
I go to the bathroom, please.
Yeah. Okay, and or at least the hamburgers is pretty tiny, maybe like a dot, como un puntito de lápiz así. Maybe we could eat 1 million, but we cannot be able to prepare those hamburgers of those sizes. So yes, of course, the number 4 is the last examples of a tall tale. The number 4 it is. So tall tales is as a story. It's a story with unreal characters that are that could have superhuman powers. And what else? It has exaggerated situations, impossible situations that a regular human being cannot do. So it has some humor and also teach a lesson. We can also teach a lesson from a tall tale. Also, we can also do that. Okay. So, guys, questions about this topic?
The sum of reading will be easy.
Yeah, if you study, of course.
The topic of I think it's easy.
Which one?
The telltale.
Definitely it is. It is. You need to read the definition, what it is, and please, basically in exam, read that the instructions. Read the instructions. Read the instructions. Yes, read the instructions, please. If you feel that you didn't understand the questions or the exercise, read it again. I remember that in language, for example, a student make a mistake because I was asking for helping verb and main verb. Pero el orden era distinto. Primero era el main verb, después el helping verb. So the student, for example, in a sentence, I will have lunch early. I will have lunch early tomorrow. So the helping verb es will y el main verb have. Pero en el examen decía main verb and helping verb. Y en that student siempre lo ponía will have, is doing. Pero en el examen decía el main primero. Entonces era have primero y will después. And all the exercises were incorrect. So please read the instructions, read the exercise. Sometimes you lose points because you don't read. Okay? So, guys, thank you for your attention.
That question so fast.
Bye, me.
Maybe. Yeah, that's correct.
I'm
Okay,
ready.
thank you.
No really.
That's where you have to be careful. Thank you, guys.
Bye, me. See you.
Bye-bye.